Okay, let's dive in.
Let's go.
So if your brain ever feels like just a mess of open browser tabs,
Yeah. Too many tabs.
all yelling for attention, slowing you down, well, this deep dive is definitely for you. Today, we're digging into some really powerful ideas from a major bestseller. Ideas to help, cut through that noise, get clear, and actually get things done without all the stress.
That's right. Yeah, we're drawing from excerpts of Getting Things Done, a stress-free productivity system by David Allen.
GTD, the classic.
The class, exactly. And it really tackles a problem I think most of us face today, just the sheer volume of stuff. Commitments, ideas, tasks, distractions, just constantly swirling around.
Oh, yeah. That feeling of being totally overwhelmed, or that low-level hum of anxiety that you're forgetting something important.
Yes, because it's just floating around vaguely in your head. A deadline, maybe, or an email you know you need to send.
A promise you made someone.
Exactly. And the core idea Alan puts forward, the heart of GTD, it isn't really about working harder or just being busier.
Right. It seems counterintuitive almost.
It kind of is. It's about freeing up your mind from the job of remembering everything so you can actually think better, act more deliberately.
And his big line is,
Your mind is for having ideas, not holding them.
that's actually pretty profound when you stop and really think about it.
It is.
We basically train our brains to be these giant, messy, unreliable filing cabinets, or like a Post-it note dispenser gone wild.
Right. And Alan's saying, nope, that's not its best use. That's not what it's for.
So what is it for, according to him?
Well, your cognitive energy, your thinking power, it's precious. It's for creativity, for solving problems, making connections, focusing on what you're doing right now.
Not for remembering to buy milk.
Exactly. When you're constantly using that mental bandwidth just to remember buy milk, call mom, draft report, schedule meeting, you're draining the very power you need to actually do those things well.
That's the mental clutter he talks about.
That's it. It's the enemy. Enemy of peace, enemy of actually getting stuff done effectively.
Okay, so the big solution GTD offers is get it all out.
Get it all out of your head. Externalize it. Put it into some kind of system outside your mind that you can actually trust.
And this isn't just work stuff, right?
Oh, absolutely not. It's everything that has your attention. Work projects, sure, but also personal errands, that cool idea you had in the shower, the bill that needs paying.
Yeah.
If it's taking up brain space, it needs to get out.
Covers your whole life, basically.
A whole spectrum.
Okay, so this is where the actual system comes in. He doesn't just say, write it down. There's a process.
Right, a very structured workflow. 5 steps, really, for handling all the stuff that life throws at you.
Like building a processing plan, you said.
Yeah, exactly, for all your inputs.
Okay, let's walk through them. Step 1 is capture.
Yeah.
What's the goal here?
Goal simple, but absolutely critical. You need everything currently demanding your attention or anything new that pops up out of your head and into some kind of collection tool. Immediately.
Everything. Like every little thought.
If it represents something you need to do, might need to do, or need to remember.
Yes.
Every stray thought, scrap of paper, email, voicemail. If it's an open loop, capture it.
And the tool itself, does it have to be fancy? An app?
Not at all. Notebook, app, voice recorder, back of an envelope even, temporarily. The tool matters less than the habit.
Okay.
You need collection points everywhere. By the bed, at your desk, on your phone. Make it easy, frictionless to grab things the moment they appear.
So you don't even have a chance to forget.
Exactly. He even suggests doing a regular mind sweep, maybe weekly. Just sit down and dump everything that's floating around onto paper or into your digital tool. Make sure nothing's hiding in there.
Okay, makes sense. So you've captured a big pile of stuff. What's next? Step 2, clarify.
Right. Now you process what you've caught. You look at each item one by one and ask the key question. Is this actionable?
Meaning, is there something I actually need to do about this?
Precisely. And if the answer is yes, this is crucial. You have to define the very next physical action required.
Not just the general idea, but the literal next step.
The smallest possible physical step, not plan vacation, that's too vague. It's Google flights to Lisbon or email Sarah about possible dates. It needs to start with a verb, something you can physically do.
I see. That stops you from just staring at planned vacation and feeling overwhelmed.
Totally. It breaks the inertia. It tells you exactly where to start.
Okay. And what if it's not actionable? Like just an article I want to read or an idea for later?
Good question. If it's not actionable, you've got 3 choices. Trash it if it's junk, file it away as reference material if it's just info you might need later. Or, and this is important, put it on a someday maybe list.
Someday maybe.
Yeah, it's a holding place for things you might want to do, but not now. Great ideas, potential projects. Keeps them safe without cluttering up your main action lists.
Got it. Okay, so we've clarified what I need's doing. Step 3, organize.
This is putting those clarified items where they belong in your trusted system, giving everything a home.
So where does that next action go? Where does the someday maybe stuff live?
Alan suggests specific categories or containers. You'll have lists for your next actions, sometimes broken down by context, like at computer for things you do at your computer, at errands for out and about tasks, at home.
So you can see what's possible wherever you are.
Exactly. Then you have a projects list. It's anything requiring more than one action step. You need a waiting for list stuff you've delegated or are waiting on someone else for.
Ah, that's useful.
Super useful. Your calendar is only for things that have to happen on a specific day or time. Appointments, hard deadlines, not just a wish list.
Right, not just do laundry sometime Tuesday.
No, only if it's like, pick up laundry Tuesday, 5 p.m.
Right.
And then your reference system holds all that non-actionable info you decided to keep. The key is having a designated spot for everything, so you trust it's all handled.
Okay, capture, clarify, organize. It feels logical, but how do you keep it alive?
Yeah.
Step 4, reflect.
Ah, yes, this is probably the most important step, and it's the one people tend to skip.
Really? Why?
Because it takes discipline. Reflection means regularly reviewing your entire system, making sure it's current, complete, and that you actually trust it.
How often are we talking?
He strongly recommends a weekly review, setting aside dedicated time, maybe an hour, hour and a half every week.
To do what exactly?
To clear out all your collection tools, your inbox, notepad, etc. Review all your lists. Next, actions, projects, waiting for. Look at your calendar, past and future. Glance at your someday maybe list. Get current. Get clear.
Why is that so important? Can't you just manage day to day?
You can, but the weekly review is what builds and maintains the trust in the system. If you don't regularly look things over and know it's all up to date, your brain, well, it won't fully let go. It'll keep trying to remember stuff just in case.
Oh, okay. So it starts nagging you again.
Exactly. The review is like tidying your house regularly. If you don't, clutter builds up, you stop trusting the space. This is mental hygiene. It keeps the system clean and reliable.
That makes total sense. If you don't trust the system, you default back to using your head and the whole point is lost.
Precisely.
Okay. So after capture, clarify, organize, reflect.
Right.
Finally, step 5, engage. Doing the things.
Yes. Now you actually do the work. But here's the beauty. Because everything's been captured, clarified, organized, and reviewed, you have this clear, complete picture of all your commitments.
But when you have some time, you can choose confidently.
You can make an informed choice. You look at your next actions lists, and Alan suggests considering 4 things in the moment.
Okay.
Your context, where are you? What tools do you have? The time available, got 5 minutes or an hour? Your energy level, are you sharp or fading? And finally, it's priority, what's most important right now.
So it's not just about urgency, but a smarter choice based on the reality of the moment.
Exactly. It's about making intelligent choices, knowing that whatever you pick, it's something that actually needs doing and moves you forward. You're not just guessing or reacting.
Okay, stepping back from the 5 steps. The big picture. Why does all this machinery, why does it work? What's the real payoff?
I think the biggest one is that feeling of mental clarity, control. When your mind isn't constantly juggling reminders.
It's free.
It's free to actually focus. It shifts from being like a stressed out storage clerk to being an active creative engine.
So you stop waking up at 3 a.m. remembering you forgot to email someone.
Hopefully, yeah. Or you stop writing the same vague task on your to-do list week after week without doing it because now you know the very next action.
It sounds like it really changes your whole relationship with all the stuff you have to do.
It really can. It moves you out of that reactive firefighting mode, just dealing with the loudest crisis.
Which is exhausting.
So exhausting. And it moves you towards being proactive, making conscious choices about your time and energy based on this trusted map of your commitments.
You mentioned a quote from a user.
Yeah, something like, I went from firefighting every day to actually designing my days. That really captures the shift.
Designing your days. That's powerful. Okay, let's pull out a few really practical tips, some key insights from the source material that people can grab onto. That famous 2-minute rule.
Ah, yes. Simple, but brilliant. If, when you're clarifying an item, you realize the next action will take less than 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Just do it. Right then.
Don't even bother organizing it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's actually faster to just do it than to track it, list it, review it later. Boom, done. Clears out the small stuff incredibly fast.
I love that. Okay, and we talked about this, but it feels really central, defining that next action super clearly.
Absolutely critical. Cannot emphasize it enough. Vague tasks like marketing plan or finish report,
Yeah.
they just sit there creating friction. You look at them and think, ugh, where do I start?
Yeah, procrastination fuel.
Totally. But changing it to draft outline for report intro or call Lisa about marketing stats, that gives you an immediate, concrete starting point. Overcomes that inertia.
Makes perfect sense. And the someday maybe list. Why is that so helpful again?
It's like a safe harbor for good ideas that aren't for now. We all have them, right? Learn Spanish, visit Japan, write a novel.
Yeah, things that might happen someday.
Right. If you don't capture them, they either nag you or you lose them. But if you put them on your main action lists, they just add overwhelm. Someday, maybe keeps them visible, but low pressure. You review it during your weekly review, see if anything's ready to activate. It honors those ideas without burdening you.
Like planting seeds for later.
Good way to put it. Exactly.
And finally, let's just loop back one more time to trusting your system. You keep mentioning it. It really seems like the foundation.
It absolutely is. It's the bedrock. GTD only frees up your mind if you genuinely believe that system holds everything reliably. If there's doubt,
Your brain takes back over.
instantly, it'll start trying to hold on to things just in case, which completely defeats the purpose. So that consistent capture, clarify, organize, and especially that reflect, the weekly review, that's how you build and maintain the trust required for the system to actually give you that mental freedom.
Okay, so wrapping up, what getting things done really offers, based on this look, is it's a fundamental shift. Less about managing time, maybe, and more about managing your attention, building that reliable external brain.
Yeah, it's a framework, a way to turn chaos into clarity, busy work into focused action. It's about gaining control and reducing that background stress.
So a final thought maybe for you listening, just consider the sheer mental energy that could be unlocked if your brain wasn't constantly on storage duty, if it truly trusted an external system.
Right. What could you create? What problems could you solve with that freed up capacity?
And think about the subtle, quiet power you gain just by defining that very next physical action for every single thing demanding your attention. It sounds small, but the cumulative effect could be huge.